And here is another video from my archives. Watch it.
The truth is that I fear for your lives. I do. Honestly, I fear for you to become one of those whose lives are wasted for 10, 15, 25 years. And some have even died from struggle of. I often feel the reason for your stubbornness to treat yourselves well is just that you haven't actually had a taste of the ugliness of struggle of before. And if that's the case, then you're going to get it. No problem. And I'm not laughing, but it's not my wish for you. It's not my prayer for you, but sometimes experience is just the best teacher. However, my being here is just to help remind those people who have already embarked on this journey of refusal of struggle of, to encourage them with more valid reasons that would not have yet occurred to them that they should continue on the good path they have begun. Anyone who's had their share of struggle of knows it's not something they'd ever want to go through again. Never again. And the only thing they need now is all the reasons to help them understand why they were even open to it in the first place. And now to arm them with all the reasons that they will use to resist it now with more ease. It can really be a struggle to get out of it if one doesn't have the tools and understanding, proper understanding. Some people have delusions. Some of you have delusions. I have to tell you straight up. It's something that I can't help calling delusions, because some of you are claiming to have visions or signs from God showing that this is a person that you're meant to be with. And I'll tell you what, as humans, our subconscious can work with us for what we really want to justify. Because I'll tell you right now that there is no way on earth that God will want us to be in a place of punishment. The closest God will have with such arrangements is that after we have suffered it, it'll teach us a lesson from which we can become a better version of ourselves, period, point blank. And in fact, I will tell you directly that it is Satan who is creating this relationship for you. But your subconscious wants so badly to hold on to it, and then you lie to yourself. He lies to you that this and that vision that you're seeing in the future is where God is taking you and this person. Lies. Lies. Let me remind you again. So who is the prince of this world? Constantly, there will be a challenge that is thrown at you to bring you down. It is for you to recognize who you are in God and who God created you to be. That is what you use in this battle. So the battle is not of the flesh. That's why it tells you that our weapons of warfare are not of the flesh. You have to use godly thoughts and godly words, right? The godly seeds that were planted into your life, that's what you use to battle this thing. You don't realize how these things work. Do you know that people develop cancer from the unhappiness that these things bring? One becomes susceptible to dangerous ailments that manifest in the physical, even when you feel normal. Look, that's why, you see, your blood pressure is affected. Why do you think that it's called a silent killer? I just had this conversation with a doctor yesterday. See, it becomes bad because the sufferer has no idea, because it's not something that one feels. You can be going about life like everything is normal, going about your business as usual, until it becomes something that puts you in a dangerous zone where your life is now at stake. You don't even know that something has gone wrong in your body until it begins to manifest, until it's gotten to a point where it's now manifesting physically and the symptoms are all there. So people think they're well until it's completely out of hand and then it manifests glaringly. That's why sometimes the person suddenly shows up with advanced cancer. Why? If you really trace it, you will see that people have been through trauma. In many cases, they've been through trauma, they've been through stress, psychological stress, and the body keeps count. So a lot of ailments are coming from the pain and the painful thoughts, the heartbreaks that you're going through every day, the stress that your psychology is going through. But you're thinking that as long as you wake up in the morning and you can go about your business, everything is fine. Everything looks fine. But the body keeps count. So stop that idea that, oh, you've seen a vision, or someone has told you this, or you had a dream that God is taking you here with this particular person. That may well be, but you don't have to put yourself through this to get that vision to become accomplished. If it's going to be with that person, it will still be with that person without you having to put yourself through the trauma And again, remember, I constantly tell you that it is not, you don't necessarily have to cut them off, because I know that this is one of the biggest fears. You don't have to cut this person out of your life, but you must take that step back that creates more clarity. And we don't understand that a lot of the things that we want in life come from the opposite. The insect that bites you may be hidden in your own clothes. Life works in ironies. God could not have created you and made you in his image so that you will shrink yourself or quietly be destroying yourself in order to achieve an outcome. Those aren't his plans for you. The outcome that you're trying to achieve with this person when you're on struggle love is very possible without this particular person, or even with this person, but not under the circumstances that you're currently trying to achieve it. But because you're so laser focused on this person, you lie to yourself and push God's plans for you to the back burner and tell yourself that you've seen visions and you've had dreams and you've had confirmations that this is the person with whom you're going to achieve this, that, and that. Lying to yourself. Your subconscious is lying to you. Satan is whispering in your ears. I'm telling you, because once it's not God's words and plans for you, you are lying to yourself. So the only thing you have to do is step back. Really. And I am not asking you to leave, like I've told you in previous videos. And by the way, have you watched the video where I talked about how I came to switching from the life someone else had given me back to the life that God had actually created for me to have? This one, watch it. I'm placing it here. You need to understand these two concepts. As I was saying, what you need to do is refuse to give over your life to someone else to control it negatively for you, and then watch how things go from there. If you say you really believe in God, let him do his work. All you have to do is, if someone is treating you in a way that you don't like, you don't have to give them access, and it ends. If someone speaks to you disrespectfully, you remove access, and it ends. It's always in your control, but I know that you're afraid of confrontation and of losing that person. But you can do it without confrontation and without losing the person. I already explained that in this video. I'll place it here. So you don't send them out of your life, but you do things in a way that you allow them to come to a decision by themselves. You do it without removing them from your life. You only step back. I've told you how to do that. So stop thinking the way the world thinks. That just holds you back. Do not be conformed to the ways of the world. The world makes you feel like a person is your enemy, and if you have to step away, it means that you must leave them, you must cut them out of your life. But you don't have to do it that way. I explained it. So watch the video again. And now I'm going to end this episode so that it doesn't go on for too long.